Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Frank Gaetano here from the Hail Palace for our daily hail and wind forecast. As always, sponsored by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor Show, and Atlas Roofing. The link to their Facebook pages is in the description to this video, so make sure to go check them out. There's a city at risk today that I'm not going to name in my headline. I will talk about it after this, but every time I name the city in my headline or in the title to the video, it gets jinxed. So I'm not jinxing it this time. We do have a marginal risk for large hail in a city that you guys want to get hit. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And then tomorrow's risk is going to be more of the same, very similar to the day's risk, similar to yesterday's risk, the day before. The heat dome is dominating, so we're seeing risk areas in the same areas of the country for the most part. And then I'll talk about what's going to be, what we can look forward to for Saturday and Sunday as far as the severe weather risk goes. But as always, first we're going to get into our upcoming events. I've mentioned this for several days now. The Florida Roofing and Sheet Metal Expo is going to be in Daytona Beach on July 19th through the 22nd. You can go to floridaroof.com for more information on that. Again, July 19th through the 22nd. And then after that, we're going to be staying in Florida. So Justin's going to be going to the Riva, the Roofing Machine one-day camp. So Justin's going to be there. You can come say hi to him and talk to him. And all these speakers are going to be there. So that's July 27th. That's going to be in Orlando, Florida at the Rosen Center Hotel. So make sure you head over to that after the Sheet Metal Expo. Yeah, there we go. Getting into yesterday's storm reports, it's somewhat of an active day. We had a lot of wind reports come in. In the East Coast, a bunch of wind reports came in for wind damage, but not necessarily severe wind caliber. So sometimes we'll get trees, like a lot of trees down with 50+ mile-an-hour winds, but it doesn't reach severe levels. So a lot of these are wind damage reports for trees down, but a lot of that stuff we map severe limits. So we didn't make too many wind maps over here yesterday, but we do see a lot of damage reports. And then there's a couple of hail reports that came in as well. And then we'll go off to the west. Montana had a busy day yesterday. A bunch of hail reports came in, several wind reports. And then I had Denver in the risk yesterday. We did get some hail around Denver and to the east, but Denver, unfortunately, did not get any hail. And then we also had a couple of tornado reports in Colorado as well. So taking a look at our current conditions around the country, I have a couple of complexes, one in the northern plains and then one here in the Missouri Valley and Illinois. So we're going to look at this. This is going to be affecting our risk area. So I can say the city now. Kansas City has a shot for large hail today. So this complex has been moving through all morning, and that's laying an outflow boundary in southern Missouri. And what's going to happen is that outflow boundary is going to be working its way north throughout the day as a warm front. So early this evening, 6 to 8 o'clock time frame, we could see some storms pop up in the Kansas City area with a threat for hail up to about golf ball size if we can get an individual storm to actually go over Kansas City. Our other risk area, Montana southward into the plains, is good clearing, so pretty good conditions for more severe hail and severe wind in Montana. Montana's been getting bulk of the action this week. So we'll zoom out, take a look at the temperatures. It's hot, hot, hot in the southern plains. We're going to be reaching the hundreds again today here in Oklahoma, southern Kansas, and Texas. And it's also hot and humid here in the southeast, where we're going to be seeing our other severe risk today for severe wind gusts with those pop-up thunderstorms that have been going on all week out there. And like I said, moisture content is very high in the southeast, 75-degree dew points, upper 70s. That is really oppressive stuff, and that continues into the central part of the country where we're seeing upper 60s and lower 70s. So it is hot and humid across the central and eastern parts of the country. So it's good for storms, but not very comfortable out there. Here's our future radar. We're going to start in the Montana area. And you see storms developing this afternoon around 4, 5 o'clock, just south of Great Falls and near Billings. I don't think it's going to be quite as active as it was yesterday. We don't see as many indications of a lot of isolated supercells, but I do expect to see some supercells in Montana going into this evening, and then the early overnight hours, things start to weaken as we lose that daytime heating and instability. We're going to go a little further south now to the central plains. We see storms popping up just to the northeast and south of Denver. Denver, you are in the risk, but it's pretty marginal again. if we can get those storms to actually roll off the mountains into Denver, we can see it, but I think a lot of the activity is going to be to your east again. We do see a couple of storms popping up here near Lincoln, and then here we go. This is 9 p.m., a couple of isolated cells in the Kansas City area, so fingers crossed we can get some hail in Kansas City today, and we're going to let this play through as we see more development behind that in the overnight hours. This should be possibly severe, but it won't be as severe as the stuff that goes on in the early evening for this part of the country. And then we're going to go into tomorrow morning as that complex weakens and works its way eastward. Now we're heading to the east part of the country. I mentioned a bunch of pop-up thunderstorms. We've been seeing this every single day this week, and it's going to continue. See these storms forming around 3 to 4 o'clock with those storms popping up in the southeast, and that just continues throughout the day. So marginal chances for severe wind gusts from those storms. Not very high percentage because they are of the pop-up nature and pulsing. So we're going to have marginal risk throughout this entire area. And so let's take a look at that risk right now. This is for our hail. Hail up to tennis ball size, again, is possible in Montana. For Great Falls and Billings, moderate risk, and then a lower end risk for hail up to golf ball size in Rapid City. And we'll work our way south. Denver, I have you as a moderate chance to see hail up to $half size if we can get a storm to roll off the mountains there and hit Denver. Low end chance for North Platte, and then low end chance for Lincoln and Kansas City. We need to see how far north that boundary actually gets, but indications are, I think they're going up. So I might bump this up to a 15% chance instead of a 5% chance for Kansas City to see hail up to golf ball size today. And then moving forward to our wind risk, a more broad area, like I mentioned before, the East Coast is getting in on this action. So we're going to be looking at the same cities here for the plains, Great Falls, Billings, Denver. I think your better chances are for hail than wind today. So low end chance for Denver for wind. Bismarck gets in for later tonight, possibly, if that complex holds together as it moves eastward into the overnight hours. North Platte, again, low risk. Low risk for Kansas City for wind, Springfield, Louisville, Nashville, and we go to the southeast. Higher end risk, as we do see indications of more concentrated pop-up storms in this area of Roanoke, Raleigh, and Charlotte. So for tomorrow, here's again Montana. You guys have been seeing this all week. We're going to look at the future radar for Montana, and again, storms are forming in the same place near Great Falls and Billings. I don't expect it to be as active as it was yesterday, and we do see that stuff weakening as it moves eastward into the overnight hours towards the Bismarck area. And then we're going to go towards the central part of the country here in the Midwest and Missouri Valley. We see storms popping up in the afternoon across Illinois and Indiana, and then also south of St. Louis. And we're going to see these work their way southeastward throughout the day. If we can see them stay isolated, hail and wind chances with that. And we see some more storms popping up near Louisville in the evening hours, and then it moves southeastward and weakens into the overnight hours going into Sunday morning, or Saturday morning. Yeah, today is Thursday. Going further to the southeast, once again, pop-up thunderstorms, same thing, different day. They're just going to be popping up all over the place. Higher concentration there in the Raleigh area, it looked like, on this latest run of the model. And then this stuff is going to be sub-severe as we get into the late night hours going into Saturday morning. So let's take a look at how that looks for our hail forecast for tomorrow. Once again, highlighting the same areas, hail up to golf ball size is possible in Montana. Moderate chance for Great Falls and Glasgow. Lower end chance for Billings. I think those storms might be a little too far to your northwest when they fire. And then a low end chance for Bismarck for hail up to $half size. Those storms will be weakening into the overnight hours as they work their way eastward. And then Rapid City, you can get in on the action too with a low end chance for hail up to golf ball size. Goodland, Kansas. This stuff is going to be, looks like it's going to be just east of the Denver metro, so Denver, you are not in the risk for hail tomorrow. And then we're going to work our way to the east where we have this St. Louis, Champaign, Louisville, Paducah, and Nashville, all low-end chances. We could see this could bump up tomorrow, but as it looks right now, I'm going with low-end chances for hail up to $half size for those cities. We'll have to see what happens today before we can look at what's going to happen tomorrow, where any outflow boundaries set up from complexes today, things of that nature. Going into the wind forecast, we're going to end up going a little further east on the wind forecast, but same story here in the plains and the Intermountain West, Great Falls, Glasgow, Rapid City, Bismarck. Once again, all the same cities, North Platte, Dodge City, and then we'll work our way east. These same cities, St. Louis, Louisville, Nashville, all low-end chances for wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour with any storms that can go up in those cities. And then we'll go a little further east, once again, lower chances for winds 60 to 70 miles per hour here along the east coast and the southeastern coast. So let's take a look at the future jet stream and see what we have in store moving forward. That heat dome, like I mentioned, is still set up as we move forward to today. This is 3 p.m. today. We do see a little divergence here aloft in the jet stream. That's good for the storms that are going to be firing the northern plains. We've been seeing that all week. So we'll move forward to Friday. And we do see a little shortwave wiggle here. And that's going to be good for inducing storm development tomorrow once we get into the Midwest. And then we do see that progressing a little further eastward for Saturday. So we could see more storms here on the East Coast on Saturday. But if you look back to the west, that ridge is still sitting here in the central part of the country. And that trough to the west is not really impinging yet. But if we move into the weekend, we do see it come a little further to the east. So we're going to be seeing a greater risk here in the northern plains as this shortwave trough moves eastward. This is going to be on Sunday. And it's going to continue into early next week, moving eastward across the northern sections of the country. So my look ahead forecast, here's what I'm looking at for Saturday. Once again, the northern plains getting the bulk of the action and the southeastern portions of the country getting the pop-up thunderstorms that we've been seeing all week. So it's going to be more of the same for Saturday. And then let's take a look at Sunday as well. I do believe Minneapolis is going to get in on the risk for Sunday as we do see that shortwave trough moving across the northern states. So we could see that, that lift happening in eastern Minnesota and up in northern Wisconsin. So Minneapolis, I believe you're going to be in the risk for large hail on Sunday. So stay updated with us. You can check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We're at HailTrace for all of those. And if you want to get directly in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com or go straight to our website, www.hailtrace.com, for more info about who we are and how we can help you. Once again, I'm meteorologist Frank Gaetano. Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday.